Previously on Talk That Talk.
You really paying for master teachers, bro, with DCI.
I
Like,
agree.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. He's on the line right now, and I was dealing with a small core. Kelton, the dude's a goat, bro. I know his name may not be out there like that, but it should. When I tell you, bro, the dude is a master teacher, bro, and that's what you pay for. You paying for that and that's why, not to get off subject with this All-Star band stuff. That's why sometimes we kind of get the backbite by All-Star band, because you're paying this money, and what can you bring back to that high school, band program? These kids be paying almost $4,000, but they had a lifetime worth of tutelage that they received from like the principal trumpet from the Boston Philharmonic. So you gonna come back, Cole, or the principal snare drummer from New England Conservatory. It's different, bro, and that's why I say, going back to the our second question, the reason why we're behind on our counterpart, like it's a lot, bro. That's all I'm saying.
And
No, I appreciate that clarity. Thank you for that. Thank you.
yeah, that's what this is for, bro. And to really be honest, man, being on a DCI staff, it's not like you walk in and everybody good. Like, no, you're auditioning to be on that staff. Like, first of all, you got to have a namesake, but then on top of that, you auditioning for that staff. You walk in, and I know this because I've had to go through it. You walk in, and they're gonna put you in front of a horn line, or they're gonna put you in front of the battery, and they're gonna watch how you teach, and they're gonna look at what you say and how you communicate with those kids, and do they respond, and are you giving good information to these kids. And then they're gonna come back and tell you, hey, you saying some good things, but I don't think, or they won't even say nothing to you at all. You'll go home and you may not hear nothing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's like that. I can definitely agree. Them kids, they tell you, your money is going here, and yeah, but you're definitely paying for top quality education, man. And I cannot disagree with that one bit. Also, shout out to Kelton Richmond, man. Shout out to Kelton. All right, man, let's go ahead and get to this last topic. So let's do it the right way. Welcome everybody to Talk That Talk. We have the unfiltered, unscripted. God dang, I still got this thing going down at the bottom. There we go. Well, we have the unfiltered, unscripted, uncomfortable conversations about band, HBCU band culture, music education, and more. Man, this has been one heck of a panel. So y'all go ahead and smash that like daddy for all these percussionists that are on this panel right now for this episode. Man, this is I don't think I've ever seen an episode of anything like this. Not to hate on anybody else. I don't remember too many times we've ever seen this, right? So, hey, go ahead and smash that like that. And also, please make sure you subscribe to the Passion Is Network and turn on notifications. Also, this episode will be on all of your podcasts and networks by tomorrow. All you got to do is type in Real Talk That Talk. We are getting down to this last topic. I am going to put the link inside of the chat so you can call in and have a conversation with us. But it's getting late, so we got to keep it brief. Keep it brief, y'all. These brothers got to go to work. So we got to make sure we keep it brief. All right. So I had to make sure that I added this one in here. This is my personal one. I had to do it. It was coming. I want Dante to start first. Here you go. MEAC drumming is boring. SWAC drumming is just hitting on 2 and 4 and trying to bust the head. Now, let me just go ahead and say this. This is not me, because I know Larry, I know you're ready. This come. No, it's not. This is not me specifically saying this. All right. And I'm gonna put him out here, and this is my boy, man. And that's, it's like Taylor brother. I saw a TikTok of my boy Ty, and he was talking about hitting the tenor drums and how the boys at the SWAC be trying to hit the tenor drum and bust a head. And so that's kind of what made me come up with this particular topic. That, and Quan said that MD can be a little boring. But all right, here we go. So MEAC drumming is boring. SWAC drumming is just hitting on 2 and 4 and trying to bust the head. Tay, you go ahead and start with it first, bro.
All right. So first and foremost, I think the disconnect comes in where people just don't have an appreciation for the other style, and that's really on both sides. Um, and we just kind of assume some things because you're not engulfed in the culture. So obviously, I'm from the East Coast. I'm from Virginia. So it's a lot of things about South drumming that, when I was younger, I just didn't understand. All right. And as I got older and learned more and sought more, I learned more. And then same thing, after talking with some people that are from the South, um, the thing with MEAC drumming, and I use that word loosely. I rather say, I guess it's the same thing, but more so the East Coast, especially up north. Um, like stylistically, it's just different, and there's just certain things like the entertainment is not what comes first in the mindset of the people here, especially in Virginia. That is not first. Um, After moving to North Carolina and coming back home, I do feel it's a little unfortunate, because I do feel like that's the thing that's missing, and you got to keep your eyes open to the thing that's going to make you better. All right. Um, on the flip side, the approach to playing as far as a lot of like the South groups, I hate saying saying SWAC and saying MEAC, because that's saying that everybody in the SWAC plays the same and everybody in the MEAC plays the same, and that's not the case. So I'll try to say like deep South. It is still some approaches that I just don't get. For example, I don't know if anybody was at this game, but when I went with Central to when they played Prairie View, I have never ever heard drums that loud in my life. And I have seen so many groups in person, South groups, but that was the loudest thing I've ever heard, yo. Um, and I couldn't get into whether I enjoyed the group or not, or whether I liked it or not, just because I couldn't hear what the hell was going on, because it just sounded like cannons going off. I was looking at their snare line playing. I couldn't tell what was going on because the basses just swallowed everything up. And I even heard this from Prairie View folks. They like, hey man, I don't know what's going on, but they wanging over that joint. So I guess that's where the disconnect happens. So I would love for my folks from the South to chime in. But I think that's the main thing where the disconnect happens. At the end of the day, if it sounds good, if it's rhythmic clarity, if you have balance and blend within your group, the style shouldn't matter as long as you're pushing the musicianship. Another thing too, and I got to call a spade a spade. We don't have to play like that around here because ain't no bands pushing no sound like Southern or Jackson. We don't, nobody has 200 brass in their band. So it's not really, we don't have to tune our drums like that. I got a chance. I went to the boombox twice. And after being in that setting, I appreciated what those bands like as a whole, not just the drum lines. I appreciate it a little more. After being in Jackson Stadium, Norfolk band, depending on what year it is, might get swallowed up by the crowd. Because we just don't. We're not used to seeing that many people in our stadium. You know what I mean? Me and Crystal had to, excuse my wife, we had to yell at each other to talk. Because everybody around us is having a good time. I had an amazing time, by the way. But if we're talking about just the groups playing, as long as it sounds good, it has rhythmic clarity, balance and blend, people get too caught up in the style. And that's one thing that's changed with me over the years.